The rain was pouring heavily as I stepped into the lobby of the old, mysterious hotel. The dimly lit interior exuded an eerie atmosphere, and the musty scent hung in the air. It was as if the place held countless secrets, waiting to be unraveled. I approached the front desk, and the middle-aged receptionist glanced up with a vacant expression. "Good evening, sir. How may I assist you?" she asked in a monotone voice. "I'd like a room for the night," I replied, handing her my identification. She studied the computer screen for a moment before handing me a key. "Room 237 on the 3rd floor. Please enjoy your stay." I took the key and made my way to the elevator, feeling a strange mixture of anticipation and unease. As the elevator ascended, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was off about this place. Upon reaching the 3rd floor, I found myself standing in front of room 237. Taking a deep breath, I inserted the key into the lock and entered. The room was dimly lit, adorned with antique furniture, and the air was heavy with an indescribable energy. As I settled in, I began to hear faint whispers echoing through the walls. At first, I dismissed them as mere figments of my imagination, but the voices grew louder and more distinct. It was as if they were coming from the very room I was in. Curiosity overcoming my initial fear, I began to investigate. I pulled back the heavy curtains, revealing an ominous view of the stormy night outside. Lightning illuminated the room, casting eerie shadows on the walls. I approached the antique wardrobe and opened it slowly, revealing an old photograph tucked away inside. The photograph depicted a happy family of 3, parents and a child, smiling joyfully. But as I inspected it closer, I noticed the faint traces of sadness in their eyes. There was something hauntingly familiar about them, but I couldn't quite place it. Suddenly, a knock on the door startled me. I quickly pocketed the photograph and rushed to answer. Standing in the hallway was an elderly gentleman, his wrinkled face etched with concern. "Excuse me, young man. I couldn't help but notice you entered room 237, he said in a shaky voice. "Yes, I did. Is there something wrong?" I inquired, my curiosity piqued. The old man's eyes darted around nervously before he whispered, "That room, it holds a dark secret. A gruesome murder took place there years ago. A family of 3 was brutally killed." My heart raced as I listened intently. The old man continued, "Legend has it that the spirits of the victims still haunt the room, trapped in an eternal torment. You should leave while you still can, before they claim your soul too." I stared at him in disbelief, the weight of his words sinking in. Was this why the voices seemed so real? Was I sharing this room with vengeful spirits? Shivers ran down my spine as I pondered the old man's words. A mix of fear and curiosity consumed me, compelling me to unravel the mysteries surrounding room 237. I thanked the old man for his warning but reassured him that I would be fine. As the night deepened, the voices grew louder and more desperate. They pleaded for help, their anguished cries echoing through the room. I couldn't ignore their plea any longer. I had to uncover the truth. I decided to visit the local library to research the history of the hotel. The librarian, a kind elderly woman, helped me navigate through dusty records and newspaper archives. With every page turned, a disturbing tale began to unfold. Years ago, a seemingly ordinary family had checked into the hotel. John, Emily, and their young daughter, Lily. They were reported missing shortly after their arrival. The police conducted a thorough investigation, but found no evidence of their whereabouts. The case eventually went cold, leaving a cloud of uncertainty hanging over the hotel. Returning to my room, armed with newfound knowledge, I embarked on a mission to communicate with the spirits. I dimmed the lights, lit a few candles, and arranged the old photograph I had found on the table. Sitting in front of it, I concentrated, hoping to establish a connection with the family. Minutes turned into hours, and just as I was about to give up, a faint whisper brushed against my ear. "Help us," it murmured. The spirit's pleas became more coherent, and I realized they were reaching out to me for a reason. Determined to bring them peace, I delved deeper into the hotel's history. It was then that I stumbled upon a hidden compartment beneath the floorboard, a secret room. Inside the concealed chamber, I discovered a diary belonging to the previous owner of the hotel. The entries revealed a chilling truth. The owner had been driven to madness, plagued by nightmares, and haunted by visions of the murdered family. The diary also contained a cryptic ritual that claimed to release the trapped spirits from their torment. With nothing left to lose, I decided to follow the instructions, hoping it would bring closure to the restless souls. On the stormiest night, exactly a year after their tragic deaths, I performed the ritual in room 237. The air crackled with an otherworldly energy as I recited the incantations and offered my sincerest apologies to the spirits. A profound silence filled the room, and the presence of the family slowly faded away. The hotel, once cloaked in darkness, gradually regained its sense of tranquility. The whispers ceased, and the weight that had burdened my soul lifted. The spirits had finally found peace, and I felt a sense of accomplishment in helping them. Leaving the hotel, I glanced back one last time, bidding farewell to the place that held such sorrow and secrets. As I walked away, a faint smile tugged at the corners of my lips, knowing that the tragic tale of room 237 had come to an end. From that day forward, the hotel remained a haven for weary travelers, devoid of the haunting presence that had plagued it for years. And though the story of room 237 would be whispered among locals, it would forever remain my personal reminder of the inexplicable mysteries that lie hidden beneath the surface of the ordinary. My name is Rhonda, and I never imagined that a simple weekend getaway would turn into a terrifying ordeal. It was a gloomy evening when I arrived at the secluded hotel nestled deep within the woods. The sign at the entrance read, "Whispering Pines Hotel," and an eerie silence hung in the air as I stepped inside. The hotel's dimly lit lobby welcomed me with a musty smell and antique furniture that seemed frozen in time. The receptionist, a middle-aged man with a weary look, handed me the key to room 207 and offered a forced smile. I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was amiss, but I brushed it off as mere imagination. As night fell, I settled into my room, hoping for a peaceful night's sleep. However, the tranquility was shattered by a series of distant cries. They sounded like desperate pleas for help, but I convinced myself that it was my mind playing tricks on me. I turned up the television to drown out the unsettling noise and drifted off into an uneasy slumber. Throughout the night, the cries persisted, growing louder and more desperate. I lay in bed, my heart pounding with a mixture of fear and curiosity. Who could be in such distress? Why were they crying out for help? The questions consumed my thoughts, but I hesitated to investigate, fearing what I might discover. Morning arrived, casting a feeble light through the curtains. I reluctantly rose from bed, feeling the weight of the restless night weighing on me. As I opened the door to leave my room, a chilling scream pierced the air. My heart skipped a beat as I instinctively rushed towards the source of the sound. The door of room 206 swung open, revealing a ghastly sight. A lifeless body lay sprawled on the floor, her eyes frozen in a state of eternal terror. The woman, whom I had seen briefly at the reception the previous day, was now a victim of an unimaginable tragedy. The cries I had heard all night had been her desperate pleas for help, echoing through the thin walls of the hotel. Panic set in as other guests began to gather, their faces etched with shock and disbelief. The police were called, and the hotel was swarmed with uniformed officers, their expressions grim as they examined the scene. The once idyllic atmosphere of the hotel had turned into a macabre crime scene, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I had somehow been entangled in a web of darkness and secrets. The investigation into the tragic death of the young woman in room 206 consumed the hotel. The atmosphere grew heavy with suspicion, and whispers of foul play filled the corridors. I couldn't escape the feeling that danger lurked behind every corner, and that the walls themselves held the secrets of what had transpired that dreadful night. As the police delved deeper into their investigation, the hotel's guests became subjects of scrutiny. Interrogations and intense questioning became the norm, casting a shadow of doubt on everyone's innocence. Paranoia seeped into the hearts of those who had sought solace within the hotel's walls. Amongst the chaos, I found solace in the company of Julia, a fellow guest who had also heard the haunting cries throughout the night. We became allies, our shared experience forging a bond as we sought answers to the dark mystery that surrounded us. Together, we embarked on our own clandestine investigation, determined to uncover the truth. The hotel's staff became our primary focus. We discovered whispers of a long history of strange occurrences within the Whispering Pines Hotel. Rumors of guests disappearing without a trace, unexplained noises, and sightings of shadowy figures fueled our suspicion that there was more to this place than met the eye. With each passing day, our determination grew stronger. We delved into the hotel's past, unearthing tales of tragedy and untimely deaths. The walls seemed to whisper secrets to us, as if urging us to uncover the truth that lay hidden within the hotel's dark history. Late one evening, as we pored over old newspaper clippings in the hotel's dusty archives, we stumbled upon a chilling revelation: the room where the young woman had met her demise. Room 206 had a sinister reputation. Over the years, it had been the setting for multiple unexplained deaths and disappearances. We shuddered as the pieces of the puzzle fell into place. The cries we had heard throughout the night were not figments of our imagination. They were echoes of the hotel's haunting past. It became clear that the Whispering Pines Hotel held a malevolent secret, and we were determined to expose it. Armed with newfound knowledge, we confronted the hotel's manager, a stoic man who seemed unfazed by the unfolding events. We demanded answers, pressing him for the truth behind the mysterious deaths that had plagued room 206. His eyes darted nervously as he finally revealed the hotel's darkest secret. The hotel manager's voice trembled as he confessed the horrifying truth. Decades ago, the Whispering Pines Hotel had been a haven for a nefarious cult, conducting dark rituals within the walls of room 206. The cries we had heard were the echoes of the tortured souls who had lost their lives to the cult's malevolence. He explained that the cult had long disbanded, but their presence had left an indelible mark on the hotel. The room itself had become a conduit for the restless spirits, drawing in unsuspecting victims to relive their harrowing fate. Julia and I exchanged glances, our determination solidifying. We couldn't allow the cycle of tragedy to continue. We embarked on a mission to cleanse the hotel of its dark energy, vowing to free the tormented souls trapped within its confines. With the help of a local paranormal expert, we performed a series of rituals and exorcisms, purging the hotel of its malevolent presence. Each step was met with resistance as the spirits fought to maintain their hold, but our resolve remained unwavering. As the last incantation echoed through the hotel's hallways, a sense of peace settled upon us. The cries and haunting whispers ceased, replaced by a profound stillness. We had succeeded in breaking the cycle of darkness, bringing closure to the tormented souls who had suffered within the Whispering Pines Hotel. In the aftermath, the hotel underwent a transformation. Its tarnished reputation began to fade, and whispers of its troubled past gradually subsided. It became a place of solace once again, offering respite to weary travelers. Julia and I parted ways, forever bonded by the harrowing experience we had shared. The memory of the Whispering Pines Hotel would forever haunt us, a reminder of the thin veil that separates the realm of the living from the restless spirits of the past. Years later, as I reflected on the events that had unfolded, I couldn't help but wonder how many other unsuspecting guests had fallen victim to the hotel's dark history. The Whispering Pines Hotel had taught me that even the most tranquil facade can conceal unimaginable horrors, and that sometimes the echoes of the past can resurface to claim their rightful place in the present.